Just make it quick, Geralt.
What the?
Close your eyes.
Hit him! What are you...
What the hell?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your one and only Buildmaster Ahmad here with another great Elden Ring character creation extravaganza. Today we are creating the monster hunter extraordinaire, Geralt of Rivia. Say hello to the people, Geralt.
No.
Quite the spicy little nugget, isn't he? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going through Geralt's equipment and abilities and replicating them in Elden Ring so that you too can have your very own spicy Polish nugget named Geralt. Now sit back, relax, and let's dive into the lands between. The first order of business that we need to resolve in order to create our perfect silver-haired hero is to figure out what kind of equipment and abilities Geralt has. So, Geralt has a horse, a silver sword, a steel sword, magic, poison, bombs, potions, and an undeniable way with the ladies. Now that we've sorted out what all Geralt can do, we need to figure out how to manifest these things into Elden Ring. Let's start with Geralt's swords. Geralt has two swords, a steel sword and a silver sword. The steel sword is better for fighting humans, and the silver sword is better for fighting monsters. So, for the steel sword, we are going to be doing our best impression of steel by regressing an entire technological paradigm and using the iron sword. Look, guys, we're just working with what the game gives us, okay? We haven't quite figured out the Industrial Revolution yet. We figured out how to reanimate trees, right, Miyazaki? Can create a flying city, right? Huh? But the modern anomaly of steel? Pfft, that's just way too far. That's a little off base for our fantasy world now. Now, for the silver sword, we need something with a little bit of wealth behind it. Something that says, I was born with a proverbial silver spoon in my mouth. Or perhaps a more relevant adage would be, I was born with a silver sword lodged inside of a monster's anus. Something that lets the enemies know, this guy has 400,000 runes, and he's ready to lose them. So, to really project this symbol of wealth that we're going for, we have selected the Bastard Sword. We have chosen this weapon purely on the fact that the sword is really, really shiny, making you a target for all corvids. You know, crows, ravens, sword-wielding Stormveil bird assassins. Now that we're blinged out with our fine set of weaponry, let's go through how we're going to infuse these bad boys. Now, Geralt's a pretty strong boy, considering as a child he was tortured and mutated into an unstoppable monster killing machine. Needless to say, there's not a lot of child labor laws in Kaer Morhen. It must be located next to China, which explains why in The Witcher 3 we get so many side quests where Geralt moonlights at a Nike factory. But Geralt isn't just a strong boy, but he's also a very nimble and dexterous boy. I mean, look at him roll. Wow, so nimble. Look at him hold that sword in The Witcher 1. Just mwah. The pinnacle of wrist flexibility as he wildly flails his arms above his head in an idle animation. So, ladies and gentlemen, what does this strong, dexterous lad need? That's right, he needs a pair of strong and dexterous weapons to support him. So, boom, quality infusion for both of these bad boys. And with that, we're on our way to slaying monsters across the lands between. All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for the second part of our build, which is implementing the magic elements of the Witcher universe inside the lands between. In the Witcher universe, Geralt has access to a type of magic called signs. Geralt has 5 different signs that he can use, and each sign produces a different effect. Those signs are Igni, which sets things on fire, Ard, which is a force push, Quinn, which is a shield, Irden, which is a magical trap that you can put on the ground, and Axii, which is like a Polish Jedi mind trick. And by that I mean it's a mind control technique, but when your target is a good boy, you offer them a pierogi and sausage instead of gaslighting them over a couple of droids. Now, you're probably thinking, where am I going to find pierogies and sausages in the lands between, Ahmad? Now, don't worry, we'll cross that bridge in due time. For now, let's just talk about Igni, the sign that sets things on fire. To reflect Igni in Elden Ring, we are going to be using the incantation Catch Flame. Watch out, everyone. Now Geralt is a hot and spicy Polish nugget. For Ard, we are going to be using the incantation Rejection, a term that Geralt has never heard as he spelunks his junk into every man, woman, or dimension-bending witch that he can find. Quinn needs to be a barrier of sorts that bolsters our physical defense. So what better than protection of the Erd Tree? Look at it. A shimmering stream of dewy gold liquid. It's like a defensive golden shower warding off blows of surrounding enemies. Now, Yrden is a magical landmine, and while I couldn't find a trap that our Geralt can put on the ground, I did find a solution through the humble art of wordplay. You see, we will be using the gravity stone to represent Yrden. You may be saying, well, that's not a mine. Au contraire. Tell me, humble viewer, what do mines do? That's right, they explode. Well, if you look at this gravity stone, it explodes too. In some ways, this is basically just a rapidly deployed strategic hand mine. What a coincidence. Now, I've noticed that this here gravity stone is a rock. And what are rocks components of? That's right, the land. Interesting, wow. And when our gravity stone explodes, it does magic damage. Isn't that so interesting? So it seems that in some sense of the word, the gravity stone is a magical landmine, making it a perfect candidate to be our representation of Yrden, and just like that, I've masterfully created a subpar solution instead of just skipping over Yrden entirely and nobody being the wiser. Now for our final sign, we're going to be using Axii, the pierogi-based mind control spell of The Witcher 3. Now, we don't have any pierogies, unfortunately, but I do have a way to mind control the enemy so that it will do our bidding. All you need to do is speak the word Axii and he will come to your side. So let's give this a little try on this fella here. Axii. Okay, hold on, perhaps he didn't hear me. Axii. Axii! And just like that, I have mind controlled the enemy to kill themselves and ragdoll down at my feet. Yes, that was something that he did via mind control and not through my own actions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to bring it all together with the final element of Geralt's combat techniques, the alchemical equipment. Geralt uses a variety of bombs, poisons, and potions to enhance his combat abilities, so our Geralt will do the same. These are actually some of the easiest components to put together in Elden Ring. For our bombs, we're going to just be using fire pots. For poisons, we're going to use the poison armament incantation, which we will inevitably forget to apply and subsequently blame when we get killed and a boss's health bar is still at 90%. Ah, sweet copium. But perhaps nothing is more iconic than Geralt's crippling drug addiction. I mean potion addiction. You see, in The Witcher, Geralt makes a bunch of pupil-dilating concoctions that make him stronger. Thankfully, our good Lord Miyazaki has blessed us with an equally powerful and marginally addicting set of potions in the Iron Jar Aromatic and Blood Boil Aromatic. Not only do you have the power to slay monsters, but you also have the ability to fail a job-screening toxicology scan, just like Geralt. But perhaps Geralt's most impressive attribute is his ability to romance the ladies. In fact, many would go so far as to call our Silver Fox a lady killer, and not to brag, but our Geralt in the lands between is something of a lady killer himself. Ah, perfect. The sweet sound of seduction. Wait, what's that, Geralt? You say that you've got a special offer for the beautiful people at home? You said you want to teach them how to talk to the ladies?
No.
Geralt just informed me that for the first 10 people to like this video, he will personally visit you in your sleep and unlock the ancient techniques that enable him to put his Johnson in some of the most powerful women in the known universe. Wow, what a nice offer, Geralt. You can literally see the excitement etched across your stoic face.
Fuck.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to address the final element of this build and answer the question, what talisman should you use? We'll kick this off by picking Radagon's Sore Seal. This is going to give us a healthy strength and dex buff at the minor cost of taking more damage, but trust me, if you mistimed 10 rolls in a row, the 15% damage penalty wasn't going to be the mistake that broke the bank, so take that increased deeps and move along. Next, we'll be picking the Green Turtle Talisman so that we can spam our ones more better. This talisman just makes you able to do more things, so slap that thing on and never let go. Our third talisman will be the Phlox Canvas Talisman. Funny enough, almost all of our spells are incantations. It's almost like I planned it that way. So let's take the free 8% damage bonus and go gleefully reject Albinurics to their doom. Our final talisman is one of two different talismans depending on which Witcher school you want to belong to. Do you want to do more sign weaving or do you want to use more alchemical concoctions? If you are a magic Geralt shooting fire farts and taking gold showers, then I would recommend the Radagon's Icon for slightly faster casting speeds. However, if you are an alchemical bomb Geralt on his way to an inconspicuous trip to Boston, then I'd recommend the Companion Jar. Now, It's time for the thing that you all have been skipping through the video timeline for, the finished build spreadsheet. As always, my builds are designed with rune level 160 in mind, because it's a level you can reach by exploring the world our good Lord Miyazaki gave to us, which I highly recommend. However, if you're looking for a rune level 120 variant, I've provided a version on the screen here now. And boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You too can be a monster hunting witcher and a certified lady killer. Hey, do you want to see me do the same thing for another video game? Then check out how I made Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.